Yes, she is lame. Welcome to Comics League Dark. I am Jared. I love that. And today we have a pack show for you fine ladies and gents today. All you fine nerds as we discuss the latest hot button topics of the comic book world. But first off, I'm here with Teladia Plays. How are you, my brother?
I'm good. It's been one hell of a week. I can say that much. Sorry for the
Yeah.
language.
It's been a hell of
Uh,
a day, too. Hey, what's up, movie theater? How you doing, my brother? And so, all right. So a lot of stuff happened. Hey, what's up, Brown? All right. So let's talk. Yeah, I saw it. Hey, first, there you go. So so our topics for tonight, we're gonna be talking about John Byrne, the
uh,
news about Supergirl, Daredevil, Lord and Miller, and the finale for X-Men '97. So Disney hates to sort of ruin the show, probably, but I think more people will watch it. But we're gonna save X-Men for a little later, so we can end with a little more positivity. But what do you guys want to talk about first?
let's get the John Byrne thing out the way because
All right.
I
So,
know when Nick joins, he probably want to say something about that. But
all right. So, all right. So, if you guys don't know what John Byrne is, he's a comic book writer who's like so what happens is that after Crisis on Infinite Earths, he was brought on because he was originally the artist for Uncanny X-Men with Chris Claremont, ironically. And then so he was poached by DC to come over and draw Superman. He wrote and drew the Man of Steel and Superman series for Jared. Try to have a timestamp, please. Or I mean, for the live stream, sure, I can start adding those in. But so the problem that happened today is, all right. So, and again, this is kind of an old thing that reemerged. So in a book called Batman Superman Generations, all right. So I forget the overall plot of the book, but the point is, I'm going to read you some dialogue. All right. So the dialogue of the book is, all right. So Lana Lang says, and I'm not going to tell you her age yet, so it gets the effect. Lana Lang says, I'm pulling it up. Hang on. It's in Brit's chat. So here we go. Okay, here we go. And so Lana Lang says, I want a kiss, Superman, not a peck on the cheek, a real kiss just once before you go. Superman does kiss her, but she's 14 years old. And Superman knows this. And here's the thing. Apparently, this is a regular thing with John Byrne. Because according to Comic Tropes, John Byrne wrote a disturbing number of stories where a hero is in love with a younger teenager. So, and the heroes are adults, mind you. So, no matter my criticism about the Killing Joke, this is 20 times worse. Now, you may wonder, why is this being brought up now? It's because, so what happened today, here's how this got involved. Here's how this came to my attention.
mm-hmm.
So I'm scrolling through Twitter today. It happened today. And I see like an account that I follow all the time for like Snyder funness was tweeting because Gunn had said, someone asked Gunn, like, what comics is he reading? And he goes, I'm rereading John Byrne's Superman. So the dude shares this panel. And at first I thought it was edited. Then Brit sends it to me. And I know it's not edited for, I know if she sends me something, it's not edited because she checks the stuff. And then I get tagged in the Super Wonder Discord server saying, Jared, you and Britt have to talk about this. So obviously I had to bring it up on the show. I remember John Byrne used to write Superman in the first part of Post-Crisis as Super Nerf Superman. Yeah, exactly. So my point is, he was also very critical of Snyder's take on Superman and on Super Wonder itself. So I ask you this, Teladia, as the resident Superman / Snyder / Super Wonder fan, man, we have a lot of titles, don't we? Isn't it kind of not humorous, but actually, yeah, it's kind of humorous that like the the critics of Snyder and Super Wonder and all that, a lot of the times have like the most crazy skeletons in their closet.
Yeah, it's weird. But I saw this, I was like, what?
Again, I thought it was because here's my thing. How did this get past DC editorial? Where were the editors at DC that let this through? It's not like it's up to interpretation. Superman literally tells her, but Lana, you're 14. So you can't tell me an editor didn't know about that. And the thing that I want to say is that, so I made a statement because so many people were asking me to put on this. Oh yeah. Hey Britt, what's up? And since Britt's here, and hey, what's up? Defense?
He's back.
Oh, and
I am Phoenix!
you're just in time to talk about John Byrne again.
I guess my ears were John burning.
Yeah.
This is why we start. This is why I told Nick, not Nick. I mean, this is why I told Jared that to start off with this topic because I knew you'd be interested in this.
So Britt says,
I guess you could say my ears were John burning.
Yes, exactly. Nice, Nick. So Britt says, disgusting, awful that's going outside, it's going viral outside of comic fandom and ruining Superman's image even further than Injustice. Yeah. So here's my thing, Nick. Again, and I told Teladia this, and Nick, as the resident fan of Snyder's movies, I think that's an appropriate way to classify you. Correct?
I think you're more worthy of that title than I am, but sure.
Let me put it this way: Snyder movie enjoyer. Let me put it to you that way.
Okay, sure.
/ Super Wonder basher / crappy shipper. Isn't it kind of funny how the most vocal critics of those two things have most of the time have like the most heinous, like, what's the word, skeletons in their closet?
Are you trying to imply something, Jared?
I'm saying he wrote this. Now, here's my question, Nick. How did this get past DC editorial?
So, I don't know.
Because
and I would
Nick,
really like to know.
Because Nick, I read the dialogue on your stream. Was anything there ambiguous as to her age? Was anything there creepy? Well, yes, but is anything there like...
It was as objectively stated as you can. They literally stated her age.
And, oh, by the way, did I mention that also in the story, he has Batman fall in love with a descendant of Batman? I'm like,
something. I guess you could call it a real Oedipus complex.
It would be if I'm not going to make that joke, but
Martha.
Nice. But all right, so my thing is, well, actually, I should thank Byrne because now, whenever anyone says that Byrne understands Superman better than Snyder does, I could be like, "Are you sure?"
You literally all you have to do is drop this panel, be like, "Are you sure about that?"
Yeah, exactly. Which is why whenever anyone says, "Oh yeah, I love the Wonder Bat in the DC AU," I used to say, "Oh, you mean the one where Batman had a relationship with Batgirl and got her pregnant?" Ignoring the arguable 18-year-old Wonder Woman. The point is the Batgirl part is like there. So and they always go, "Oh yeah, that's true." But the thing is, again, somehow John Byrne outperformed Bruce Timm.
Wait,
and somehow
what?
Palpatine returned.
Yeah, because you know what? As much as I have issues with Bruce Timm's editorial decision, that's too far for even Bruce Timm. I don't do that.
Yeah, give the guy at least some credit.
Yeah, I will cut him some credit. He has some what's the word? As a fan of Trinity's
he has like 3 drops of class.
Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, exactly. Because at least Bar was 18 it's still creepy, but it's better than 14.
And she was also an adult in The Killing Joke too. I just want to note that.
Yeah, exactly. To be fair, I like the Man of Steel short series. I also like Man of Steel long series, but the short series is better. Okay,
See, this is how bad it is. When you've sunk so low that even Bruce Timm would think you're gone too far.
Geek Detective makes a good point. At least Tim had Batgirl be legal. Yeah, that's why I could say that's objectively better than this. And
Still bad, but
it's still
there are
bad.
degrees.
But it's significant. Like this way, it's not even the same space quadrant. That's for you Star Trek nerds. It's not even the same space quadrant as creepy as that for that.
Like, we can have an argument about like Batgirl and Batman,
and we've had
there is no argument here.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny. So I looked it up. I wanted to look up if he had ever been called out for this before. No, but you know what he did get called out for? Britt, you're gonna love this. I told Britt this, and I told Sammy this. First off, he has called immigrants ungrateful for wanting to keep part of their cultural heritage when they move to America.
What?
Yeah. Second off,
I thought America was the great melting pot.
Second off, this really set Sammy off. He compared trans people to, let me put it this way, to cuties fans. I know, right?
The frick!
Yeah, I know, right? And I'm like, I wonder why you don't write for DC anymore. Thank God. So
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Just like,
yeah, I know, Nick. The way you're reacting is exactly the way I reacted when I read this. I'm like, I'm sorry. That is objectively awful.
You're being too charitable. It's objectively disgusting.
Yeah, and this guy is writing Superman. By the way, the analogy for immigration, mind you.
I'm gonna say this right now.
Yeah, go ahead,
Jared. Your rage is making me laugh. So I'm not saying anything. Could you just
justified rage? So I want to put that in there. So again, and this is one of the people that actually, and Britt, you can back me up on this, that either sabotaged Super Wonder or called it a bad ship. And I'm like, I don't think you can justify your ships, because to be clear, John Byrne likes Superman with Lana. That's better. But for some reason the age didn't line up. And
it's like Superman and Lana is a fair ship. Like,
yeah,
when they're both the sim, like if it's like teenage Clark and teenage Lana, okay. Adult Clark, adult Lana, also okay. Like, we can debate it, but like Lana and Clark is a valid ship. You may not like it, but it's valid. But when the age difference
is like that, by the way, Clark had the Kingdom Come White Temple, so he wasn't even close to her age.
That just makes it even worse.
Yeah,
it's giving like grandpa implications.
Yeah, so Britt says Hal Jordan had a full relationship with a 13-year-old Anissa. The difference is that's an alien, and she aged up her body, even though mentally she was still there. And yeah, it's still creepy. That even adds up to. Let's see if I wonder if John Byrne wrote that, but I don't know. We'll see.
I think you
Nick, I can't say the joke there because it's political, but Nick. But anyway, Byrne.
You get the joke though, right?
Yeah, Byrne was self-inserting his self-hatred of being an immigrant himself, because he emigrated here from the UK.
Wait, he's a Brit?
Yeah, he used to be a Brit / Canadian citizen, but he gave up that citizenship.
We disavowed him. We don't like him.
Yeah, exactly. As you should.
I gotta dip for a second.
Sure.
My steaks are ready.
Okay, cool.
But I shall return.
Good. Like Superman. So Superman does end up with Lana at the end of the story, so it's even more horrible. Oh, God! I'd rather have Superman with Lois than that.
Don't make me bleach my eyes.
That says a lot. If I would rather have Superman with Lois. And then that, because at least Lois is Clark's age. It's less creepy. granted, Lois is a heinous individual, but it's significantly worse. Thank God the only advice that Frank Miller took from Byrne was in regards to lighting. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, this is why I read guys like Frank Miller, because Frank Miller is the type of person that would have Batman beat up those people. But anyway, Lana is grown up when they get together. Okay, but still, it's like, you've known me since I was 14.
This is weird and creepy.
I know. Now, Jared, I mean, you could ask. Now, Jared, why do you bring this up on the show? Thank you, kind listener. I appreciate the question. Because here's why. Because I'm sorry, doesn't bode well for Superman if Gunn is constantly praising this run and now it's going mainstream trending. Again, literally, so it was kind of interesting, Teladia.
Yeah.
Is that so? First, we get the suit reveal,
Mhm.
and then this.
This isn't looking good for James.
That trailer better slap because the general audience probably may not get to that point, but you're pissing off a lot of the audience, particularly when you praise Gunn. Hey, what's up, Robert? How you doing, my brother? But anyway, that's my small rant about John Byrne. Let's change to another topic. All right. Okay. So do you guys want to talk about Supergirl, Daredevil, Lord and Miller, or X-Men 97?
Well, we'll leave X-Men 97 till last. Let's do a DC topic, which is Supergirl Rising.
All right. So we've been getting some like advancements on the Supergirl movie news, and apparently it's going to launch the year after. Oh, Nick, you didn't miss much. Just me ranting about that John Byrne panel that was going viral today. So there you go. But anyway, so now we're talking about Supergirl. So I believe it's coming out the year after Superman, right?
Yeah, it's coming out in 2026. I believe under a year after Superman.
Which, assuming everything goes to plan and that movie comes out. And actually, Brown, it's called Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. Man, Nick, you lucky bastard. But anyway,
fresh off the grill.
Sweet. It's based off of the Tom King Supergirl book, which, to be clear, wasn't bad. So it's not like it's based off a bad book. I know it's not like it's based off a John Byrne book. But anyway,
and I will say the actress they have cast as Supergirl, I do approve of.
Okay, cool. I was gonna ask you that, Nick, because I've never seen her in anything.
She did a really good job on that show. I think she'll do a good job.
Okay, cool. So assuming the movie comes out, here's my question. Do you think they're going to make the suit look just like that? Oh, so to be clear, this is not the only example of Byrne has done. He has Robot Man kiss a teenage Elastigirl. Yeah, I know, Robert. It's just I wanted to bring that up because I think he was the original instigator of Kitty Colossus.
Wait. Sorry. When you said Robot Man, I was thinking Invincible. Sorry.
Yeah. And Robert, I know that. I was just bringing it up because the Superman panel is what I saw. And then the previous statements about immigrants and stuff. Yeah, what's up?
What do you think about like the Robot Man and Monster Girl subplot? Like, yeah, he's biologically an adult, but like the fact that he's in a kid's body, it's kind of weird.
But here's the thing. Now it's a clone a clone of her age dating her. So how does that work? Because they're both mentally adults, but they're physically a child.
Yeah, it's just one of those weird justifications. Like, oh, this person looks like a 12-year-old is actually a 5,000-year-old demigod, kind of thing.
Yeah. So it's a bit much. I doubt they're doing anything under the covers, so it shouldn't be. And so as long as a beyond that, I'm not doing that. So there you go. But he said, granted, he did get called out, and there is context like the Lana scene. I know that. It's just this is why I am against like some hero worship on creators, and that's the thing. I still think that Supergirl should be adopted by Clark. Isn't that kind of what they do when she shows up after the Michael Turner book? I don't know, but anyway,
I don't know. Like a lot of the ones, they just put her with the Danvers. because like Clark is like, he's too busy being Superman. He doesn't really have time to take care of her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and by Cameron asked, I wouldn't mind if they do the Danvers subplot in the movie. Yeah, that could be cool. Now, here's what I think. No, he turns her in the orphanage. I don't know. But anyway, so in terms of Supergirl, now here's my big concern with this movie. The suit. Are they going to make it look just like Clark's suit?
I think the S will probably be the same, but as the rest of it, I don't know.
Yeah, the S has to be the same because they're both from the House of L.
All right, I got a question for you. Here's my question.
Yeah, go ahead.
You think they'll put her in skirt or pants?
Skirt.
I could see skirt because, I could see either way. I'm thinking because Gunn is involved, or at least he's overseeing everything, I think they would go skirt because that's the one that's like in the comics now, and that's like her signature look.
Yeah. So
Robert says post-crisis Supergirl had her flounder on her own for a while until she eventually took the identity as Lana's niece. Oh, okay.
See, the thing with Supergirl stories is I can see Clark having someone else take care of her because he doesn't have time, but he wouldn't outright abandon her. Like, he'd still be in her life. But it'd be like, hey, I'm really busy with my life. I can't give you the time. I'm still here. I'm still a phone call away or whatever. Yeah. But these people are going to take you in.
Robert says James Gunn did do a poll, skirt or pants. And we all know that the poll's results is what he abides by. I mean, that's how he got Superman trunks. But it wasn't always her signature look. She's had other ones like with Geek Defense. She did have like a leotard for the New 52, which I liked. But I could see if they go with skirt.
Oh, no, James Gunn is totally going to put a red sweatband on her like in the 80s.
But here's the well, okay. I mean, they could, but...
Do you remember the wet red sweatband she had in the 80s? Like,
yeah, I know, but the problem with that is that was the Supergirl that died in died in Crisis.
I'm mostly joking, by the way.
Yeah, I know. You were saying they're going to adapt Matrix Supergirl? The shape-shifting alien? Yeah, by the way, Teladia, that's who Kara was around the time of like the death of Superman. It wasn't Supergirl, it wasn't a Kryptonian. It was just a shape-shifting alien named Matrix.
And she had a weird relationship with Alexander Luthor.
Yeah.
I remember that in the comics. Yeah.
Britt says there was a concept artist that might be associated with Gunn who posted a blurred image with the skirt. So it's probably going to be the skirt, which I'm fine. Yeah, exactly, Robert. That's what I brought up. Between Jeff Loeb's arc and Sterling Gates, it's so much a bouncing back and forth. Joe Kelly tried to have her have an identity for an issue. Okay, I can see that. Oh, we had Matrix, then Sir L, and then Kara. Yeah, we had a lot of stuff. But Brown asked Jared and Nick, what do you think about Supergirl's yellow Kryptonian suit back on Krypton?
I don't know. I have to see it.
Yeah, let me do that. Supergirl yellow suit, new 50. She had a yellow suit in the new 50. Oh, the white suit? I will say, though, can we have an arc where she becomes a Red Lantern? Because that was dope. If we get like all the Lantern Corps are established in this universe, for the love of God, give me that.
Can you highlight Cameron Bailey's comment, please?
Yeah. Who do you guys think or would want to be the villain? I personally wouldn't mind Astra. Livewire could work.
For Supergirl?
I don't know. I think Livewire... Livewire's been a Supergirl villain.
They could do that. They could do that. They could also do... Well, let me see. Who else could... and Robert, you probably would know this better than I do because I'm not really the largest Supergirl reader. Oh, Silver Banshee's an option. Oh, wait. Lex's sister could be one. No. But here's the thing. If Lex is going to be the villain of the Supergirl movie, I don't. I mean, of the Superman movie, I think the villain of the Supergirl movie should be one different because otherwise it's just Luthers versus Kryptonians.
All right, hear me out.
Yeah, go
The
ahead.
villain is Maxwell Lord, and what happens is he steals the wishing stone,
Okay.
Mhm.
and basically,
And-
come on! I thought you'd get the joke as soon as I said wishing stone.
Hold on.
No, I got it. I got it. I got it. Yeah. There's a reason that I don't think she's a boring character. It's because there have been great runs that have done stuff with her. What do you guys think? Supergirl a boring character, and I don't
Because
think
the
so.
problem
No,
is,
sorry, go ahead.
they wanted to bring Superman back just being a solo character because you see this with Batman stuff. Like every so often, they're like, Batman needs to be solo. We need to do it to Bat family. And Superman has a Superman family. Like at one point, he had like 5 or 6 different people in like his group. And Superman, more so than Batman, we think of him as a solo character.
I think Livewire would be suitable for Supergirl, to be honest with you,
Mhm.
because
That could work.
even though she's a Superman villain in the 90s, but I think she has more resemblance to Supergirl because obviously if it's like an all-female cast, for example, for the Supergirl film,
Yeah.
I think it'd be very cool to have Livewire introduced in the DCU. We've never had Livewire before in live action, I don't believe.
Yes, we have the Supergirl TV show.
TV show, yeah.
TV show, okay. But we've never had it in movies though, so I think this would be
Alright,
really good. But in terms of movies, this would be definitely cool to have Livewire be a part of that movie. Now I don't know if they're gonna do a 1-to-1 adaptation to the comics of Woman of Tomorrow. That's the question that I think a lot of people are gonna be
I think they are.
mind.
By
Also,
the way,
Atchison, you are so on the money there. Dear God.
kind of, yeah. By the way, Robert says, do you think James Gunn will make a reference to Kara having a relationship with a horse? This had better be friendship.
I'm gonna say this. That is so messed up. I could see James Gunn doing it.
That Supergirl portrayal was in Smallville. She was an immature hothead with a heart of gold. So new 52. Okay, good. We agree, Brown. She wasn't very smart in Smallville. That's how she was portrayed in the movie. It becomes funny. I don't know. Comedy, granted.
I'm gonna be honest.
Mhm.
Melissa Benoist is my favorite Supergirl. She just kind of nailed that adorkable kind of thing.
Okay. I could see that. And I like Kara as an allegory to both adolescence PTSD. Yeah, they could definitely do that. If Gunn is smart, he'd make a Power Girl movie with Sydney Sweeney as Power Girl. I would definitely pay for that.
Instant, and like you said, instant 1 billion.
Hey, Galatea, they do the clone.
So you're saying begun the Clone Wars have?
Nice, thank you. Thank you. And then Robert clarifies it's not exactly how it happened. It's a misconception. Cosmo was a centaur who turned into a human and a horse, and she loved the human side. Still creepy.
Oh, she loved the human side. Just the human side.
Sure.
We gotta have standards here.
Yeah, we're not John Byrne. They should have Kara start off as Supergirl as a teen and become Power Girl as she matures. Nah, I don't think the two identities would work.
I mean, actually, the way I would do it is have Galatea be the villain, and then when she turns good, she becomes Power Girl.
You could do that. Yeah, that's a great way you could do that. Yeah, welcome to Silver Age. What about Indigo 8, a.k.a. Brainiac 8?
No, we got to have Brainiac 5.
Yes, exactly. Supergirl casting from House of Dragon is very suitable. Well, go ahead, Nick.
I mean, I've already said it.
Yeah.
You know, I've as the only person who's actually watched House of the Dragon, I will be doing season 2 on my channel, by the way.
Cool.
I think she's a great actress, and I think she's suitable for the role.
Because the Indigo was from the Outsiders run. I've never read that, so
I haven't either.
it was
Neither
Power
Yeah,
Girl
there's a bunch
Gordon.
of permutations of the Outsiders as well. Like there's
Mhm.
one where Nightwing is leading the team and he's like all business.
Wasn't like the debut of that team. So what happened with John Byrne? Oh, wait, Dave came in late. Do you mind if I could briefly say it?
Yeah,
Go on.
yeah, go ahead. We can cringe.
All right, so Dave, John Byrne, it came out. Well, it didn't come out today. People knew about it. It's just what happened is that it came to my attention, and it came to a lot of people's. It came to Twitter's attention. Is that he did a comic called Batman Superman Generations, where what they did was what he did was okay. He had Superman make out with a 14-year-old girl.
14-year-old Lana Lang. I think
And again,
is important.
hey, Robert, answer me this: how did that get past DC's editorial? Because that would have to someone had to sign off on that, and if they do,
Somebody had to get fired.
yeah, exactly. Still hope that for the actress who plays Issa to play Supergirl in the aftermath when Cell succeeds. All right, that there is context. There's context. Still, I'm like, no. There's no context that justifies Superman kissing a 14-year-old girl.
Oh, I have something. I have a proposal for you guys.
What's up?
So what if they do an interdimensional Power Girl, okay, or Galatea, and it's played by Sasha Kali.
Sasha Kaye.
Kaye, so, thank you. Because I'm sorry,
Ooh.
she was kind of low key the best part of the Flash. Like I actually really liked her Supergirl. Like she surprised me how good she was.
They could do that, actually. That could be really fun. So they could still use her. So it's like, it's not like they're just throwing it aside. And they were reportedly having conversations about her continuing on Supergirl. So I could see that, maybe. Let me put it this way. I would support it because I agree with you, Nick. I loved her as Supergirl. I think she did a fantastic job.
I
With what
mean,
she was
since
given.
she's kind of like an interdimensional outcast, she's not technically from the Snyderverse. If anything, she's from the Burtonverse. She could like
Actually, yeah, she is. She's from the Burton Earth.
So what you could do is it's the same character, but she just winds up and she's Power Girl now.
Because
And
that's
give her the
actually what
blonde
happened
hair.
in the comics, where Power Girl is just Earth 2 Supergirl that came over. There was already a Supergirl, so she assumed a new identity.
Yeah, and it's the same exact character because she's not technically from the Snyderverse.
Cameron says they're probably going to have Zod or even Lex as her villain. Can we please not have Zod? Because then it'd be even more like a ripoff of Zack Snyder.
I swear Zod is like the Green Goblin of villains.
But
You know, it's like
also-
they keep reusing Green Goblin. They keep reusing Zod. Can we have a Tallow maybe for once?
Or how about this? She fights Parasite.
Ooh, I like it. I like.
All right, who would you have play Parasite?
That's a good question. Lance Hendrickson?
He's a little bit too old.
Okay. Oh, but,
I mean, if it's just voice, sure.
Mhm.
Um,
The context is this: young Lana found out about Clark's secret, but he also found out he'll be with Lois. They went to
okay, can I cook for a second?
Yeah.
real
go ahead.
quick.
I think. Oh,
Just let me say one thing. Still doesn't justify it, Robert. Go on.
what if Parasite is played by a Paul Dano type? You know, more of like a recluse kind of stalker. You know, like Parasite kind of thing.
That could be
and
cool.
Like it's like more of an obsessed fan of Supergirls, and it's played by like either Paul Dano or like an actor kind of like him, or a similar portrayal to the Riddler. You know, like a recluse. I'm trying to avoid certain words here.
Oh, and what he expanding on that because Nick, I love that idea. Expanding on that, it's like the reason why he gets powers is because he figures she'll pay attention to him if he has powers. So he gives himself the Parasite powers to try and be her supervillain.
Can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
What would be your design for Parasite?
I would
someone
go.
like- something like what the Tomorrowverse was, or something like from the Superman the animated series.
I don't want the Tomorrowverse one. Here's why. It's too close to Godzilla. So I would say not really that one. I could go with Estas, honestly, where it looks like a dude. Here.
Yeah, like it needs to be like a dude. Maybe not like yeah, okay, I'm looking at the Tomorrowverse Parasite. Yeah, sorry, no, that just doesn't work. He
It's
looks more
way
like a
too much
Martian,
like a-
to be honest. It's like looks more like a purple Martian.
Yeah, here. I could see this thing working. Or this. Or this. There's any number of these things can work. It's just, again, because here's the thing, Nick. As much as I like Superman Man of Tomorrow, I don't like that design for Parasite at all. It's too much like Godzilla.
Yeah, he looks more like a purple Martian, to be honest.
Zod is the Kenny of supervillains. Just ask Richard Donner or Dan Jurgens or Zack Snyder again.
or Annie Machete.
Yeah, exactly. Man, Reverse Flash should have been the villain of that.
I'm sorry, you could tell Michael Shannon was putting absolutely zero effort into that role. He just did not care.
I do like that he had the decency to ask Zach first before he went back to play Zod. So I'm like, okay, class act.
But you could tell he was just there for the paycheck.
Same with Feora. What about Earth 1 Parasite? Let me see that one. Superman Earth 1. Oh
No.
nah.
It looks like Doomsday with some slugs on his shoulders.
No,
Yeah.
no, we can't go with that design. No.
I kind of like the more purple design, and honestly, go simple. How about this?
See, the thing that I'm racking my brain around is what's the origin? Like how does he get his powers? Like, are they like do they design like a chemical to drain powers from a Kryptonian, and he gets it on him or something?
I got it. So depending on how Superman ends, with like if it's Lex in prison or like him like because the main villain I don't think is Lex. I think it's like whatever was attacking Superman, Metropolis while Superman was putting on his crappy suit. But anyway, so what if this dude goes to Lex and say, "You have technology that could give me powers. Can you do that? I'll be your agent," or something like that. I have to know about Supergirl. So he shows up at LexCorp, and then we can say that like since Superman, the movie, Lex has been trying to figure out ways to depower him. So it's like it's an alien substance.
I mean, the other thing is the DDO, because one of the things I liked about Superman and Lois is they showed the government side where, like, even though they trusted him, they still had they're still doing research into anti-Superman weapons.
Yeah,
and I really do believe if you're gonna do a universe, you need to bring in the DDO and have them have like anti-Superman technology.
Mm-hmm. Lady Styx, who's that? Styx, Supergirl. I'm interested in that. Who is this? Oh, and according to that, she's powerful. That could work. Once WB is bought, Universal should release all of the director's cuts. That's
not going to happen.
That's not going to happen. Most will probably
we might get a few of them. We might get a few of them.
I could see us getting Ayers and Schumachers. That's about it.
Yeah.
What's up?
What other potential director's cuts are there?
See, okay, so there's
I have one, but this is on the Marvel end. # release the Trank cut.
Yeah, exactly. There's an entire apparently. So there's a Twitter account for that, and apparently when you read the stuff that was going to be in the Trank cut, it's actually not that bad. Yet another movie studio's ruined. But anyway,
I mean, to be fair, Josh Trank is not the best person in and of himself. Like, I think it was a both sides. Like, just to be clear, I think Fantastic Four was a both sides situation. I think Josh Trank was not the best person, and the studio was not being the best person to him. I think it's both sides are guilty in the situation.
Mm-hmm. That can work, Robert. That's a good idea. Release the Spider-Man 3 director's cut. Okay. Release. It's kind of funny. Here's one. Don't release the Madam Web cut. Because, good lord,
no,
that movie sucked.
Release the Leto cut.
No, oh, here we
It's
go.
Morbin time. It's Morbin. It's release the Morbin cut. That's what they call it.
Jared, I was literally just sticking that out of my head.
You know what's kind of funny? The movie starts with like a beat going, and it says it's the Morbin cut. That would be hilarious.
Stop.
The U.S. government has
love
plans
it.
for a Canadian invasion just in case. So having an anti-Superman weapon is completely understandable, and they do it. So it's not. Yeah. So that's
The
a way
U.S.
they could do
government
that.
has plans for an alien invasion. They literally do. They literally have plans for an alien invasion.
I mean, that's why the government covertly sponsored Lex developing kryptonite and BVS. That's why. Release the Wonder Woman. There was the 1984 Wonder Woman. Reshoot the whole film, or better yet, actually make Wonder Woman 3 in the modern world, so we can get a modern world Wonder Woman movie. I can't believe I have to ask for that, because reportedly there was supposed to be a Justice League character that was like teaming up with Wonder Woman in that, and Patty Jenkins is a big Superman fan, so Britt and I are like, come on. Plus, here's the best part. Let's say that Amy Adams does not come back as Lois Lane in the event the Snyderverse is because she's the only cast member that's been kind of like about if they were asked to come back. So I'm like, maybe they could write her out and replace her with Wonder Woman. If Zach does that, he will earn my loyalty forever. But now, if Joker,
I mean, Jared, Zach already has your loyalty forever.
well, yeah, that's true. Now, if Joker 2 can't make a profit in the box office this year, James Gunn's universe films not going to do any better. Maybe. I mean, you have a point there. I do think that's a good point.
Mhm.
That's a good point. They can use Scythonia. She was in the DC Supergirl TV show.
So I want to see the. So there's a special cut of Blue Beetle I want to see. It's called the Defascists edition.
Where
they
just
literally
that
just
one
cut
scene.
out that one scene, and it's called the Defascists edition.
If you want, Nick, we can make a fan edit of it and just take out that one scene.
And literally post it on fan like
Yeah.
the
And by the way, Geek Detective, I've always said that movies and TV show Lois I tolerate mostly. Comics Lois is the one that I think is abysmal, but that's just me. That's my opinion.
Yeah, like honestly, if you say anything bad about Superman and Lois,
Nope, I
dislike
can't.
you.
I can't. The only Lois that I objectively loathe is the My Adventures with Superman Lois.
Okay,
Cancel
Jared,
it.
I have a
Loser
question for you.
lanes.
So, since you have a certain tolerance for the live action one, is there a live action Lois you can't stand?
That's a good question. You see, the thing about it, and yeah, I saw that, Robert. Thanks. That's a good. Right. So, let me put it this way: the Loises that I have seen that are live action are obviously, for some reason, I'm blanking on her name. The one from the Reeve movies.
Margot Kidder.
Yes, I saw Margot. I liked her.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Amy Adams, obviously.
No.
I like Superman and Lois.
Good.
I like Smallville.
Good.
And the only Superman show I haven't seen, ironically, is the Dean Cain one.
But he's the all-American lawman.
I want to. Yeah. I want to. I will be watching that soon, because that's like the only Superman show I haven't watched.
Have you watched Superboy?
No, I haven't.
That's a
Is she
show
in
from
that?
like the late 80s. I think that one has. By the way, in that show, there's
Oh.
a redheaded.
There's apparently a 4-hour cut of Dark Knight Rises, but Christopher Nolan doesn't like all alternate director's cuts. That entire movie feels 4 hours.
If I can be honest, there's only one cut of Dark Knight Rises I want to see, and I'm gonna have to hop dimensions to see it. I want to see the version of Dark Knight Rises where I want to go to the universe where Heath Ledger didn't die and he was in Dark Knight Rises, because that was the plan.
Mm-hmm. I have a bad Lois. Atchison brought it up.
Go on.
whoever the hell played Lois in Superman Returns.
Kate Bosworth
Kate-
was
Kate was-
okay, but she was definitely an acquired taste.
Let me put it this way. Of the available options, she is the one. There is like 5 Loises that are leagues above her. Yes, zero chemistry. Too long. It's too long, geek. That's the thing. The movie feels too long. And I could say that as someone that has watched the Snyder Cut.
What's your opinion on the Noah Neal version of Lois?
I haven't. Is she the really older one?
The George Reeves version.
I haven't watched that one, so I can't like. The clips I have seen, I like her.
By the way, did you know that Noah Neal actually made a cameo in Superman Returns?
I did. She was the old lady that Lex convinced to sign over the fortune.
Yeah, that's what I love about the Superman franchise. Is they're always bringing people back. Like even Snyder did it. Like I think in BVS they actually had the original Jimmy Olsen from the Reeves movie.
Justice League.
Justice League. Okay.
He was the cop that Lois always brought the coffee to. Knockout can work. Knockout is a former female Fury that fled Apocalypse. She was actually in a relationship with Vandal Savage's daughter.
No. If we're gonna do female Furies, it's got to be Big Barda. She sent.
No, I mean for villain for Supergirl.
No. Hear me out. Let me cook. Okay. So she's sent to Earth by Apocalypse to either capture or kill Supergirl, but through the power of friendship, she actually turns Big Barda to the side.
That's not the way that works, though. It's Scott Free who turns her good.
Or Scott Free's appendage.
No. I'm not going with that. Superman returns to his son after a 13-year absence. By the way, so you know what's kind of funny? There's an extended cut of Superman Returns that explains why it took him so long to get back. So it turns. Do you guys know about that?
I mean, he literally went to Krypton and back. I'm surprised it didn't take longer.
No, what happened was, okay, so here's the original opening of the movie. So he gets to Krypton, but obviously it's like blown up and stuff, and his ship like crashes into a rock and gets damaged, and he gets knocked out. That's why it took him so long to get back to Earth. When you look at, so what happens is so he goes to Krypton, and obviously it's a wreck. But what happens is, as he's like flying away, his ship hits some debris, and actually no. Here's what happened. I just remembered it. So he arrives at Krypton, but like we know, the origin of kryptonite is that it's the irradiated components of Krypton's core. So he gets weak, and he by accidentally, while he's weak, makes the ship crash.
So what you're saying is that Superman gets lost in space.
Danger, Clark Kent, danger.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, that's good.
No,
That's good.
That's a good point.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess let's transition to another topic for this show.
What's
Do
the Daredevil one?
Do you guys a positive one?
No, you said you had a Daredevil topic.
I do. Daredevil Born Again. So what they announced here. So we're going to talk about this. And by the way, there's one. Actually, you know what? There's one thing that I want to give a shout out to. I don't know who this is. If they do, someone please tag them or send the stream. But there's a Green Lantern fan film in development.
Oh,
and the suit looks pretty good.
Is it green? Is it animated?
It's green, but it's not animated.
Ah, dang it! We're this close to greatness.
Look, a practical Green Lantern suit.
That actually looks really good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, they even have Abin frickin' Sur.
That makeup, wow.
What does it say? That fans are making better suits than Superman.
Oh, Jared, speaking of fans making suits, did you see that like one picture circulating Twitter today about the Krang suit?
Yeah.
Like it looked really good.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what it says here is that Daredevil's Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio so that they're finding a balance between Born Again, the original series. It's been nearly 6 years since they started the series, but in less than a year, they're coming back in Daredevil Born Again. The series is currently slated to arrive in March 2025, and the stars will once again portray Daredevil and Kingpin. While the actors have made several MCU appearances, okay, good, going on. So it says here, all right. So basically, it was an article talking about them coming back to, well, here's the thing, Geek Detective. It doesn't necessarily have to look like a hologram in terms of a Green Lantern suit, because a lot of them don't. Yes, they are holograms, but they don't look like that. I'm sorry,
but unless the suit is both green and animated, I do not care.
We saw that. You know what happened with that, right?
Yes, and it was glorious. It was glorious.
Now, the funny part about this is that I love how they're doing Daredevil Born Again, but they already did that in the show.
Okay, I need to
go ahead. I knew you were going to do this, so I cleared up the space. Go ahead.
So as soon as they revealed the title Daredevil Born Again, I called it out, and everyone's like, no, there's a new continuity, or just other random bull crap. And now, like just like everything else, I say something, people resist it. A year later, everyone's saying it.
How's it feel to be proven right, Nick?
It's freaking exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I will say I am looking forward to the show. I think they are making the right moves, and I am excited for it.
Mm-hmm. And then Brett Brown says, hot take, I don't have a problem with the Green Lantern movie CGI suit. Me neither. The CGI stuff on that, it isn't the best. The only part where I have an issue is the mask. But besides that, it's not that bad.
Yeah, the mask was really bad.
The cool part that I liked about it is that when he was doing a construct, you could see the energy flowing from his arm. So I really dug that. But
honestly, I think the best Green Lantern suit is you have a practical suit, then you enhance it with CG. I think that is the best way to
That's what they should have done, but I don't know why they did that. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, let me put it this way. Here's the thing. And by the way, it got really hot in here. Like, almost like a blaze is happening.
Flame on, everybody. Sorry I'm late. Technical difficulties.
No, it's all good.
But, yeah, I'm not looking forward to Daredevil Born Again. Say what you will about all the business stuff behind the scenes. It's just a monotony of bad decisions all across the board. I know I'm kind of a downer.
JJheat, why are you like why are you not excited? Like I'm actually curious.
The reason I'm not excited is because this is just a. Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off, Nick. Because
I pretty much said what I want to say, so just go ahead.
Thank you. But this is just a desperate ploy to give some Disney Plus as a streaming service some kind of hype and justification. Because if you actually look at the numbers, the actual logistics and ratings for Disney Plus content, the only ones that are relatively decent are X-Men 97, which really isn't saying much if you look at it logistically, and maybe MCU movies that already ended up on the platform.
Didn't X-Men 97 get worse ratings than like Ms. Marvel?
Well, here's the one thing that when people say that, here's what they're not considering. You're comparing animation to live action.
That is true.
And second off, I think that, and I was talking to Joe Sontag about this, but shout out to Joe, he's a cool dude. He and I agreed that what's probably going to happen is those like X-Men 97 will get more views as it goes on, and we'll talk about this in the X-Men portion as time goes by, because now that all the episodes are out, people can binge it. So you'll get those people. Plus, the word of mouth of the show is great. So
it's a good show. Don't get me wrong. It's a quality show, not a little too much fan service for my taste, but a great show all around.
Yeah,
just
and we'll discuss it more in detail when we get to the X-Men portion.
Yeah, but to get back to Daredevil Born Again, I just see this as a desperate retreading of the Netflix Daredevil series. Because that took a lot of elements from Born Again and that run, which it was inspired by. So this literally just feels like a retread to me.
So, JJheat, while I can definitely see where you're coming from, and your opinion is definitely valid, I will say I have to disagree with you there. I view it as more of a course correction, as Disney realizes, holy crap, we need views. Let's give people what they want. And Daredevil was the best of the Netflix. It was. And
True.
Daredevil still has fans. And to me, they're making the right moves. The Netflix stuff is canon now. They brought back Karen, they brought back Foggy, they brought back Bullseye. Could they flush all this down the toilet to disappoint me? Heck yes. They are still perfectly capable of
Probably
doing
will. But
they very well might. But for right now, based off of what I've seen, they are making the right moves.
Plus,
they
here's the
have
thing.
plenty of time to mess it up. Plenty of time.
Plus, here's the thing. Born Again is a well-known Daredevil story among comic book fans. So the very fact that it has
in season 3.
I know. But that was a long time ago, and they're trying to
Oh my god.
Nick, all I'm saying is that if they want to
Wasn't that
get
long ago.
Semantics.
Nick, all I'm saying is they want to put the name Born Again on the show because that will bring clicks.
I get that, but it's just stupid.
I know it's stupid. I think it's stupid. I'm just trying to say this is probably the justification they gave.
So Daredevil, let's see here. Daredevil season 3 started in 2018. Okay, 2018. That's that's. I'm sorry, that is not. Oh, so long ago. Like that's not even not even a decade.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Get it out of your system, man. We got a long show ahead of us.
Do you think that Rebel Moon? You see, here's the thing about Rebel Moon. It was successful for what Netflix wants. They want views on Netflix. It brought that, and you know what? It got people talking about Netflix.
Oh, okay.
And the engagement was there, but as a movie,
yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
here's what I want to see. Okay, I want to see Zach do a Daredevil movie. And
he said he would.
And you know who he should cast as Daredevil? Ben Affleck.
That would be good. I would.
I love how he knew exactly where I was going with this.
When Zach was asked what Marvel projects he would want to do, he did say Daredevil and Elektra.
I mean, Zach would do a good Daredevil movie. Let's be honest.
Yeah, of course. So, anything Zach touch, it will be great.
I wouldn't go that far, Teladia, but you know.
I mean, comic book wise.
Anyway, so before
I don't think Zach could do an X-Men movie. I'm just gonna say that.
It depends, but anyway. So transitioning to our next topic. Before we do that, though, I want to share off a little meme that Teladia made that I really liked.
I saw this on Twitter, by the way. So.
Oh, okay. He didn't make this on Twitter.
Yeah, I was like, Teladia, when did you upgrade your drawing skills?
Oh, Dr. That's so
I knew JJheat would love it. I knew it.
I had to share when I saw this on Twitter. I had to swear. I was like,
"It's such a good one."
Yeah, it got a kick out of JJheat
bravo,
and Nick.
Bravo.
And can I just say, if Akira Toriyama was alive and he saw that, he probably would laugh.
So next, let's talk about this one. So they put Lord and Miller, the dudes behind Spider-Verse, in charge of Marvel Studios animation.
I'm cautiously optimistic because they've definitely proven their worth in animation.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to live action, because like animation, they're gods in animation. Because remember, they also did the Lego movie.
Yeah, but again, they're only doing animation.
So as far as the Spider-Man stuff is in animation, they're the kings.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm then in that case, I am 1,000% behind this.
Yeah, because they freaking nailed it with animation in terms of Spider-Verse, and I'm like,
Hopefully, we can just see. Hopefully, Beyond the Spider-Verse comes out this decade, but that remains to be seen.
Yeah, you never know with this. Yeah, they're in charge of all. They're officially in charge.
Also,
wait.
JJheat wants to say something.
Wait, I was a little incorrect. They're in charge of. They're in control of all Sony's Marvel movies and shows.
I mean, as a better than nothing thing, it's fine. I'm just not sure how they could do the live action stuff.
But here's the thing, though. I think they would at least have the sense to say, let's stop making movies about D-list villains that no one knows about.
JJheat, what did you want to say?
Yeah, go ahead,
Now, admittedly, I am being a little cynic about this, but there is a balance between what works business-wise or logistically and what works creatively. These two, from what Spider-Verse is going for them, they're great creatively. Like the animation, the fluidity, it's all there. You watch those movies, the finished product is great. However, you kind of need someone to balance out their ambition on the business side, not only to get an engaging product to where it warrants profit, but also cost-effective to where it warrants long-term contribution and positive growth, if that makes sense to everyone.
By the way, Dave says they were supposed to write and direct the Flash movie on the original Snyderverse slate.
Can I just say also, I really wish they had been a part of the Solo project from the start instead of dealing with. Actually, no. Actually, release the Lord and Miller cut of Solo because they were the original directors. Because
I don't think it got very far before they left the project.
Actually, no. From what I hear, they had shot pretty much the entire movie when they got fired. Ron Howard basically did his best, but he was basically salvaging. He basically did the Joss Whedon job, except he actually did the job as best as he could instead of hacking it to pieces.
Wow. I mean, I still enjoyed Solo for what it was, but interesting there.
I mean, Solo's not a terrible film, but it is a broken film because it was original Lord Miller. They cast it, and then Ron Howard came in and kind of like finished the film. I don't know. I think the Lord Miller version would have been a lot better.
They definitely. WB is writing PhD in self-sabotage of the brand. Yep, pretty much. So next topic. Since we're all here. Yeah, go ahead.
Before you do that, could you pull up the Batman Beyond animation like stuff?
Yeah.
Like, can you show people just what we could have gotten? Because my God,
to give you guys an idea of what this would have been.
I think there's also a test animation too.
Yeah. So they wanted to make. So it's essentially Spider-Verse, but Batman Beyond. So it's imagine Spider-Verse, but Batman Beyond. So here's some concept art that they even showed up with concept art.
Look at that. That looks so good.
Who wouldn't want this?
You know they would have included the theme.
The only downside is budget and cost effect because Warner Brothers is not in a good financial place to take this kind of gambit. This would have been very high budget, not really cost effective at all. Marvel could pull this off in a weekend, like logistically. Let's be honest.
And Sony too.
And Sony, I will give you that, Nick. And Sony. Warner Brothers Discovery is not in a good financial position. There's no way they would have greenlit this logistically. It just wasn't.
And that's sad because Warner Brothers Animation is right on the same level as Disney. It's just as legendary.
I agree, but logistics and to warrant project funding come first.
Warner Brothers Animation is nowhere near what it once was. I'll agree with you.
But they're giving James Gunn $300 million for a Superman movie.
Imagine a even if this is like a direct to HBO Max movie.
Yeah.
And they give it the budget it needs. It could have been a hit.
There is no way that there's no way that wouldn't have been successful because the minute you say from the minds of Spider-Verse, people show up.
Yeah, plus the IP is popular. Like Batman Beyond is popular. Plus Batman. Batman in
anything Batman is going to do well. So you don't even have to worry about it if it's Batman Beyond. It's just Batman.
I'm not saying it's not a safe choice, but given Warner Brothers' current position, there's almost 65 to 70% bankruptcy in their liquidations and assets. They could not afford a high budget product.
And to be clear, JJheat, I agree with you. They're idiots.
Yeah, JJheat, even if it is a safe bet, like they don't even have the resources for safe bets. Yet somehow they can afford to do Creature Commandos. That's weird.
Yeah, exactly. But or
sorry,
wait. That's not all they're doing. We're also getting Jurassic League.
See, this is why like just cancel Creature Commandos, cancel Jurassic League, take that money and give it to Lord and Miller. Bam, you have a hit on your hands.
That's what what's kind of funny. When we found out that this got rejected is when they announced a Jurassic League, and I'm like, no one's gonna know what that is.
Like I can kind of get Creature Commandos, but Jurassic League makes no sense.
But you know what's hilarious?
It's a kids film. It's a one-off kids film, and it's easy money because of the demographic.
But you know what's hilarious, JJheat? So they released the plot summary of Creature Commandos. Stop me if this sounds familiar. Amanda Waller creates a Black Ops unit of monsters.
What are we, some kind of Creature Commandos?
So it's basically Suicide Squad. It's basically a rip-off of Suicide Squad.
Technically, Creature Commandos is its own IP, regardless of general opinion.
I mean, in terms of the movies, but but I'm just saying
it's essentially another Suicide Squad. I will agree with you on that, Jared. It is.
Like Amanda Waller forms this unit, and then James Gunn recanonized his Suicide Squad movie by saying that Rick Flag Sr. is going to show up in Peacemaker season 2 to fight Peacemaker because Peacemaker killed his son.
So a glorified prequel, which is a prequel to Suicide Squad 2018 version, which was a retread of 2016 Suicide Squad, which in of itself is a prequel to Peacemaker season 1.
And now I've gone cross-eyed.
So exactly. So I need that drop. So does that mean that Margot Robbie's also canon as Harley Quinn, or Henry Cavill Superman because he showed up in the same continuity as your Suicide Squad?
See, this is why. Remember when this first happened, and I was like, okay, clean break. If this is a clean break, like I said, what I don't want is a new 52 style situation of, all right, some stuff is canon, some stuff is not. Remember when I made the joke of, all right, well, Peacemaker is canon up until 52 seconds and 39 milliseconds.
Yeah, you made that.
After that, it's the canon. And
you made that because guess what? Gunn said some plot lines of season 1 will carry over, but some won't. So in other words, some of that is canon.
His dangdest to make this as convoluted and complicated as possible, and I just want to just wring my neck, not his neck, my neck. I'm being very specific that I want to wring my neck, not his.
Live action is a bit more complicated because you do have to worry about contract in these projects regardless, because at the end of the day, these are legal documents. These people contracted, they're here to do what they do.
Yeah.
So not all of James Gunn carrying over Peacemaker is nepotism. Granted, nepotism is a factor, but that's not the main reason. A lot of these actors are still on contract.
Then don't do a reboot.
So either you risk rebooting the series square one and completely retread season 1, and you risk in a Legends of Korra type situation. Excuse me. Or
you just don't like all past avatars being nuked?
Or JJheat. Here's the simple option. JJheat.
You're wrong for that, Nick. You're wrong for that.
Heat man.
But
here's the way he could have fixed this.
A giant kaiju Korra fighting the dark
Here's the way
avatar.
they could have fixed this. Moving on. Here's the way he could have avoided this. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Don't do the frickin' reboot. Just keep if it's that complicated, keep the damn actors.
I will agree. Now, contrary to popular belief, Jared, I agree with you. Now, I again, my younger self, younger JJheat, back in his mid to late teens, was not a fan of the DCEU. I will openly admit that. I have openly admit this on multiple occasions. Yeah. However, I will say it's remotely salvageable because all you have to do is go with what Warner Media tried to do. Let's go back to just before the pandemic, 2021. You had the Oscar acclaim. The Snyder Cut was a big success for HBO Max as a break-off streaming platform. You had all the momentum in the world. If you just roll that off for a good 3 to 4 years, you would have had a cohesive story and you would have had a completed arc. Then if you want to reboot from there, go ahead.
Yeah, but Warner Brothers doesn't like money. You got to remember, the Snyder Cut was made like Warner Brothers was forced to do it kicking and screaming. That was an AT&T decision. Warner Brothers, like they sabotaged it at every chance they could. Like they didn't want to do it. They were forced
Green
to.
Lantern. But also, by the way, did you know it's not like Zach was not going to end with Flashpoint and then the actual Flashpoint story first off, and then reboot the continuity at the end of Flashpoint, thus allowing for another thing to start off. There's no way Zach's that smart.
No.
Yes, he obviously is. In case you guys can't read my sarcasm, he's smart enough because guess what? To quote Zach, he saw his thing as like, I'm just doing a comic book run. I'm just doing a short run. It tells one story, a beginning, a middle, and an end. You're done. And then the next guy can come on and do it.
Walter Hamada would be like, it was me, Zach. It was me all along.
There's so many, it's kind of funny, Nick. When you said Anthony Starr should play Reverse Flash, honestly, I think Walter Hamada should play Reverse Flash because he screwed up the DC timeline way worse than Eobard ever could.
But Anthony Starr is a good casting choice. I will give you.
Oh
that,
yeah,
man.
100%. But
hands down.
Ego
Hands
has
down.
destroyed DC. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, ZSJL is the reason why the DCU is the way it was because of Reverse Flash. Yeah, exactly. That was the plan, which was cool. It was all to screw with Barry, and that would have been revealed. That is actually really cool.
I mean, like, remember? I think it was me and you were having a private call, and I pitched this movie idea of a Flash movie where, like, basically it starts and it's a new Flash with a new face, but they don't say anything. Mm-hmm. But then he goes to see Supergirl, and it's Melissa Benoist. And then, like, you kind of sprinkle in some of the
Arrowverse Grant Gustin.
No, I'm not saying it's Grant Gustin. I'm not saying it's Grant Gustin. No, Grant Gustin is here, but the Flash is like Daniel Bryan or something. But you don't say anything, and it's all these little changes that, like, wait, what do you mean? I've always been Melissa Benoist or whatever, and then it's revealed that Anthony, like, and then you see Tom Cavanaugh come in as the Reverse Flash, and then you see a hand go through it. Then Tom Cavanaugh falls, and it's the actual Reverse Flash, Anthony Starr, and he says,
"That is a really long explanation."
And, screw you. And it's revealed he basically pulled these other heroes from their universes into this one just to mess with Barry.
Yeah, but anyway,
even though that is something Eobard would ultimately do, realistically,
too complicated for the general audience.
That, and I'm just gonna say it: Grant Gustin is a better Wally West than he will ever be a Barry Allen. I'm just gonna be completely honest.
I'm sorry, but if you watch the crossover with Ezra and Grant is acting circles around Ezra. Like, oh my
talent
God.
is. I'm not refuting the man's talent.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the thing. When you think about it, Ezra was only good when directed by Zach. That's the funny part.
Even then, just barely.
Even then, yeah. So I feel like comic book fans do have the best ideas for these projects.
It's because we actually care.
It's because we actually care and know what would work with the general audience. Because the way Gunn is doing it, let me put it this way. I like to use my dad as a test bed because he knows nothing about comic books, but he's like a general audience member. Granted, it's only one person, but it's the most available example I have. The number one complaint he has about the MCU is that it's too complicated and you have to understand all this stuff in order to watch a single show now. Now I gotta tell him they're rebooting. Not really.
If you're a kid who actually grew with the MCU franchise as it was going on, film for film, project for project, yeah, this would be relatively easy for you because you've grown up with it and you've seen these movies multiple times. This works both with movies and with TV shows. There's the demographic factor, and then there's the general audience factor. If you want a long-term franchise, you have to find a way to balance both.
Arguably skew more toward general audience.
if possible. But the ideal is to go for balance.
Mm-hmm. If you can, yeah. But I don't know. But let's transition to our final topic of the evening.
Transition!
To me, my X-Men! So, 97 ended, and I gotta say, I think it stuck to landing. And there was a post-credit scene, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But, wow. They nailed it. And by the way, it's confirmed that by the new head of X-Men 97 that they will be respecting Bo's story for season 2. So it's still going to be Bo's stuff going forward.
Why did they even fire him in the first place? Like, I just don't get it.
Reportedly, according to Britt, the reason that she heard is that he was sending lewd pics to people.
Wait.
I'm sorry, I don't believe it. Because the only reports of him being toxic come from the Witcher's writers' room, and I'm like, they just make up whatever crap they want.
Yeah.
The
reason I think is because he wouldn't is that he was trying to respect the characters and wouldn't let them go crazy.
Yeah, because if you notice, all the reports of him being toxic come from the Witcher's writer room, and they make up crap all the time. Like, remember all the crap they made up about Henry?
Yeah, exactly. Now,
So,
and again, he would only hire people that were fans of the original cartoon or the X-Men in general. And you know what? I don't want to speak for everyone here, but I think it showed in the yes, they rushed through stories. I will admit that's an issue I had with season 1. Maybe they can address that in season 2. But in terms of like how the characters acted and stuff, yeah, I'd say it's consistent with the way they were in the show.
I agree. Some elements.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think my only issue with the show, and this is, at most, it's like a half-point deduction. I didn't like how they speed run through some iconic storylines. Yeah, that's really my only legitimate complaint. I think how they handled the characters was fine. I do appreciate they had woke stuff in here. That is true, but they kept it to more of a background subtlety detail, like them saying Morph was into Wolverine. If you watch the show, yeah, you can kind of see that.
Actually, here's the thing, though. I got more info on that. So yeah, Bo said that Morph was expressing romantic feelings. Another person associated with the show said he meant friendship. So really, I think
that's the beauty of the show is the way they played it. It could be interpreted either way.
Personally, for me, I think he meant it as friendship, or he turned into Jean to say "I love you" because he thought that if he turned into if Wolverine heard Jean say "I love you," then he would wake up because he obviously knows Wolverine is in love with Jean.
Also, I do need to respond to our Comics League co-host Britt. Here's the thing: apparently he had the OnlyFans this entire time. Disney hired him, and he had the OnlyFans. So my thing is, Disney they investigate people to heck and back. Yeah, they had to have known about the OnlyFans when they hired him. So I don't really believe the OnlyFans was a problem because they knew about it. There's no way, there's no scenario, in my opinion, that they didn't know about it when they hired him.
Yeah.
Because he clearly had it this entire time.
Yeah, he's had it for a long time. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is, okay, so we're going to go around and talk about our favorite moments and stuff, but my number one favorite moment so far, well, actually, first off, my prediction about the episode came true when Phoenix showed up. So I was like, yeah, hey, what's up, nickname? But one of my favorite moments is they actually recreate the panel of Wolverine having his adamantium pulled out. And I'm like, you did it. And you did it in a way that it didn't seem like they were cartoonizing it. It still felt like it was actually, it felt mature, but not too bloody, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it was quite the fatal attraction, I must say.
Yes, exactly. And then did you catch that they had a rogue ass shot in the battle with her against Bastion?
I love how everyone is like, they removed Rogue's Ash, and they're like, wait.
They literally did it. So I don't know what people are saying.
All right, can I say my favorite moment, please?
Sure, go ahead.
Mommy's busy.
So the Sailor Moon part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the Goblin Queen story arc. I love like that was kind of the moment where I realized, okay, like where they actually gave her a sexy outfit. That, by the way, I guarantee you, Comic-Cons all summer are gonna have like we're gonna be.
Oh yeah,
Goblin
Goblin Queen is coming back. My favorite moment of all time is when Storm gets her powers back and she goes, "And I am lightning," and then she like takes off. You could see like the hurricane from space, and then she's in the Claremont suit and does the Man of Steel first flight. I'm like, life is really good right now. I love this, and I say this every time. I'm gonna say it again. Feels so good to be excited about something Marvel. JJheat, your favorite moments?
Not gonna lie, the Spider-Man cameo, an actual Spider-Man cameo.
I mean,
and
wait,
Tuck it
JJheat,
Invincible.
Wait, JJheat, which one?
Yeah, because there's two.
Yeah, I kind of like the first one more than the second one. Spoilers, by the way, for an episode that's a week old at this point.
It's
But,
a week old. You don't have to put a spoiler alert if it's a week old.
Thank you. But the first one is actually is okay. First of all, the second one could easily be misinterpreted. Like, okay, this takes place before Spider-Man 94, before Mary Jane goes missing.
Actually,
You can
no. Bo confirmed. Yeah, he went back and he got her.
Okay, I
Okay,
will
he
say
did
that's
confirm that.
also
Okay, thank you.
another knock because I mean I'm pretty sure they're going this pretty much ruins the first season of the Spider-Man reboot they're gonna do because that's where they basically just kind of ruin like the whole ending story arc of like Spider-Man. If you don't know, Spider-Man the animated series left on a cliffhanger where he was going through the multiverse to find Mary Jane. And they basically just kind of ruined that storyline. So I'm a bit.
How do you know they're not going to do that as like a flashback?
They could skip over it. I wouldn't be surprised. That would be
They
the safest
could.
option.
Even if they do it, we already know how it ends. So it like just ruined it.
Well, we always knew how it ends. You know Peter's going to get Mary Jane. You always know that.
Remember,
This is pre-Zeb Wells.
Jared, remember on my stream we were talking about prequels and Chris was saying how you already know how it ends, so it kind of ruins the suspense. This is that thing.
But see, here's the difference. And yes, I do acknowledge that, but here's the difference is that this is something that always has a predetermined outcome. Oh, by the way, Dovahkiin has the Nick. How about the other homage to Man of Steel when Rogue basically goes, his name was Gambit, remember? And he does the whole "you think you can threaten my mother" moment.
Wait, didn't I actually like say I wish that would happen or something?
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
nice
say I
job,
called
dude.
it. I'm not gonna say I called it because I don't remember exactly predicting it, so I'm not gonna claim.
And by the way,
SW.
that's the ass shot because what happens is she punches him out. And then the camera's behind her, and then she does this, and then the camera basically zooms in. So anyone that says they didn't do that shot is lying.
Check the private chat.
Yeah, I saw that, Nick. I mean, JJheat, why'd you have to say that? But
Okay, can we boot JJheat off the show for a minute, please? Oh my God, you son of a biscuit actually did it.
they're not going to do a 90s Spider-Man reboot anytime soon because MCU Spider-Man prequel animated show is still coming for at least a few seasons. That is true.
That is true.
Dave, I'm sorry, but you're right.
But you know what's kind of funny?
I don't know.
Do you know what I've seen on Twitter? Everyone's saying, can we throw out the MCU Spider-Man show and get this instead?
Because no one really cares about
say,
Spider-Man freshman year. Let's be honest. You're better off with Spectacular Spider-Man season 3 than Spider-Man freshman year. I'll say it. I say that. Hey, I have hot. I'm Blake JJheat.
I'll be honest with you. A Spider-Man year 1 cartoon from the MCU. Because remember, he was Spider-Man for about a year before Tony pulled in. I actually wouldn't mind. Like that actually sounds kind of interesting to me. But then again, I would really prefer FTAS.
By the way, they could
other FTAS.
Yes, they could create a 97 animated universe with Fantastic Four, Hulk, Avengers, and a few others. The
They
freaking
kind of already
Avengers
are.
show up. Like Iron Man, is it in JJheat? As soon as I saw him in the suit, you know what's going through my head?
Oh,
Yeah.
You're
yeah.
that
See,
was
the
going through
problem
my mind the entire time.
The problem with that is most of those shows, there's no love for them. The only other
No.
one that people have, like, you could make a Spider-Man the Animated Series reboot, and that would get people's attention because there's a lot of love for that show. All the other ones, people don't really care about. I'm going to be blunt here. Like the Hulk series, while good, you know, nobody you have to remind people they did a Fantastic Four show, and then the Iron Man thing, it's like just the theme. No one remembers anything else about the show.
But
to be fair, the
counterpoint-
demographics for those shows were 80s kids.
in
for those
counterpoint,
I mean, it was mid to late 90s when they aired it. But.
Nick, counterpoint, I think if they were going to do it, a post MCU world where Iron Man is now a global icon is not a bad idea if they're going to take the risk.
I mean, if it were me, I would just literally just create like an Avengers 99.
That would be
That's the
and put
same thing.
Spider-Man on it.
Like literally just take all these characters and just put them in an Avengers show in that universe.
Yep, that would 100% work. By the way, Doctor Strange shows up, Doom shows. And apparently the only person they couldn't bring in is Deadpool, and I'm like, nah, probably.
I mean,
because
Deadpool
of
was
the movie.
actually in the original X-Men show, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
He
know.
had one episode, maybe two, if I remember correctly.
Also,
And by the-
Doctor Strange was in that universe because, like, I remember there was a Hulk, like an episode where She-Hulk and Doctor
Yeah.
Strange teamed up, and she kept mispronouncing his name. I remember one point she says, "Let's go, Doctor Stranger," and he's like, "Close enough."
Yeah, and Black Panther with the cape was good. That's T'Challa's father.
Oh, there is some controversy with that. So apparently, Black Panther did appear in X-Men, or in that universe, and it was T'Challa. So T'Challa
He got one
should be
episode.
so T'Challa should be the Black Panther of this universe, and they kind of retconned it to be T'Chaka. Like, I get the Chadwick Boseman stuff, but this is animated. Like, why are you so afraid of doing T'Challa?
Plus, the character is more than the actor.
Like, I
get-
appreciate the respect. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. But this is getting a little unreasonable, I think, at this point, because that was even before Chadwick even played Black Panther.
All you have to do is give the actual character of T'Challa a design that does not resemble Chadwick Boseman, and you don't have. That's really all you have to do.
Yeah.
I mean, by that justification, why'd they air the What If, where he became Star-Lord?
Well, no. That is because that was literally his last performance. That was a tribute
Yes.
to him. That was his last performance ever, and to not use it would be a crime.
I see. T'Chaka and T'Challa were both in the finale, I thought. Were they? I don't think
Yeah,
they were.
T'Chaka was the one in the gray suit. T'Challa was the Black Panther who was still masked. At least that's how the show's justifying it.
Okay.
So they were both there.
All right. So I guess. All right. I can deal with that.
If they're both there, I'm like, oh, by the way, that's what I like about the show. All this stuff, they're like, we thought of that. We thought of that. We thought of that. So I'm like, okay.
I mean, like, for example, in the MCU, by the time we get to Civil War, T'Challa had been the Black Panther, operating as the Black Panther for 10 years up until that point. So with T'Chaka
Wait. When was that?
No.
This is MCU.
Okay, I'll take over. From what I could be misinterpreting this, but this is what I interpreted. T'Challa briefly donned the Black Panther suit in the attempt to avenge his father, who is politically unalived amidst the story of that film. It's only in Black Panther proper did he go through the proper trials and earn the mantle.
Yeah,
No, they didn't, because if you remember in Black Panther, when they did like the King stuff, they had to strip the Black Panther powers from him in order to do the fight. So he already had the herb flowing through him, at least in the beginning of Black Panther. And honestly, if you look at Civil War, yeah, he's already juiced up. He is already very, like, the way he's running, the way he's acting. he's got
Well,
the heart super thrown through him.
But what I'm
Yeah.
talking about is like, where was the indication that he was Black Panther before Civil War?
The
I
only
think
way
it
that
might
would
have been
work.
some side material, like it was like a comic or something that was related to the MCU.
I wish they had said that, because as far as I know, because I didn't read that, so as far as I knew, that was his first time being Black Panther.
But
all right.
well, actually, if you know the scene when they're in the car where he says, I was the Black Panther, and now I wear the mantle of king." It's very clear that he was Black Panther going into these meetings, because he put on the suit right away. He was obviously in the heart-shaped herb. So
So
like
he
like
went
he's-
through the right. So this is how I'm trying to understand what Nick is saying. He went through all the tribulations. He went all that because T'Chaka was grooming him for the throne.
Well,
Then
he was
T'Chaka-
the heir. Plus, T'Chaka was getting old. Like, T'Chaka was Black Panther in the 90s. That's where we saw the flashback. So, like, probably around early 2000s, T'Challa took over as the duties of Black Panther because T'Chaka was getting old. So T'Chaka was king and T'Challa was the Black Panther, as you know.
Yeah, so about 10 years or close to it. I see where you're coming from, Nick.
I'm gonna look up the wiki.
I found I just listened to the scene from Civil War. He never says he was Black Panther before then. He says the Black Panther was like pass from warrior to warrior, and now I also
wear the mantle of king. He's separating the two. Okay.
Although I could see an argument where T'Chaka or had T'Challa go for the tribulations and actually become Black Panther officially because he was getting older as a precaution to groom him for the throne. There's nothing in the films themselves that directly warrant that. That's just subtext and everything that's going on.
Okay.
You can make an argument for it.
All right, I got
but it's not in the film.
I got the
Wait. Go ahead.
Marvel Cinematic Universe wiki pulled up here. I know it's not like official, but it's about as close as we're gonna get. And it says in 2009.
Okay.
So, and I think when did Civil War take place? But he was
2016, so about 7 years.
The source that they're citing is the official MCU timeline that they released. So I'll take it as true. Okay, that makes sense.
So in 2016 is when Civil War takes place. So he was Black Panther for let's say 5 years, just as because the exact time doesn't matter. What the point is, he had been Black Panther for a good amount of time.
Okay, I didn't know that. All right, hey, I learned something. So there you go.
All right.
But regardless of that,
oh, sorry, I got a little heated there.
No, it's all good. But regardless of that, going back to X-Men 97, I will say again, and I said this with Joe. Yeah, they do the whole morph thing, but I think they do it like we said before. They do it in a way that's not contrived. It's not in your face.
Agreed.
So it's like when it came out that morph had like they them pronouns, but it doesn't really show up in dialogue at all. It's just like it's
literally just like the
character bio. That's
stuff.
it. Maybe Rogue.
That is literally it.
Maybe Rogue refers to them as they them in episode 9, but that's like one line.
Yeah, well, the point is they don't make a big deal out of it. They don't shove it in your face. It's just there. It's like it's there. Like you know, which let's all be honest. That's how we want this stuff to be.
Yeah.
Like you want to have a trans character, you want to have a gay character, you want to have different pronouns, fine, whatever. Just treat them like normal people. Don't call attention to it. Just treat them like characters, and we're fine.
And by the way, Morph was one of the most fun characters because they were the cameo machine. That's how we got like Psylocke, Archangel, the Hulk.
I do find it weird that Morph was able to actually take on the powers of these characters. Like that doesn't seem
Isn't that
right.
the way it works?
That's Changeling, but I guess Morph is a
okay. Actually, I need to explain. So they did have Changeling, but they gave him the name of Morph because Changeling is Beast Boy's name. Because you have either the copyright or just potential confusion. So like Changeling and Morph were two separate characters, but the Morph name was given to Changeling, and so it just became Morph.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thanks for
Okay,
clearing that
was
up, Nick. And Movie Theater King, to answer your previous question, if I get enough people to fan request it, I will do a what would get me to return to Marvel video. I have considered that in the past, but if that video idea gets popular, I will consider it.
JJheat, I know what I need to do. I need to give you lots and lots of money.
fun.
Well,
JJheat, if I give you $10,000 to watch She-Hulk, you'll be watching it within 5 seconds.
I'll do it for $1 million.
Okay, fine, 20,000.
But anyway, yeah. So yeah, again, as long as it's not like in my face and they're not like constantly putting in my face, I could care less. Just put them in there. Plus, it makes sense for a character that can shapeshift, so there is that. But my point is, they did this well, and they did some storylines I never thought they were gonna do, like Genosha.
I will say this isn't really a criticism of the show, just the marketing. The way that they put this out right before it came out.
Yes, that was an
it's so
issue.
obvious they just wanted to stir up controversy, to bring up engagement right before the show. I'm getting sick and tired of these stupid stuff coming out where it's obviously a ploy to drum up engagement. I'm just sick and tired of it.
Yes, can we ignore them? I say from now on, we just ignore all that stuff.
Don't look.
Just don't look. It's fine. If it's in their face when the show comes out, okay, then we can criticize it. But just don't pay attention to those people. But anyway, all in all, it's pretty fun. So I'm going to go around. Oh, by the way, Teladia, I never asked you. What were some of your favorite moments from season 1?
So far, season 1, obviously Magneto ripping out the adamantium from Wolverine. That was my
fatal attraction. You gotta love it.
Yeah, and I would also have to say, obviously, the Spider-Man cameo. Like that was a really nice touch.
Spider-Man.
I also like the touch where the Man of Steel inspiration for Storm. When she got her powers back.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we just say I love how someone tried to argue against Bo DeMayo. He's like, no, it was Man of Steel. Like, are you sure, Bo? Do you really want to say that? Yes. He literally came out and said he's a Snyder fan. One of us.
I need that clip too. But
I really wish we could interview Bo DeMayo.
There's so much. As soon as he said I'm a Snyder fan, I started looking for it. He puts it in pretty much every single damn episode. I'm fine with that because I love it. But I was like,
imagine like the stuff like if we interviewed him. Like,
I'll see what I can do. But anyway, there are ways. But so I'm gonna go around and then we'll rate the season out of 10. And in terms of me, I give it a solid 9 to 9.5 out of 10 because they did rush through storylines and there's room to grow. So you know what? I'm giving it that high because they treated the characters as respectfully. And by the way, what gave me even more trust in Bo's direction. So someone asked him about how I believe this was in reference to how he made Cyclops cool again, even though Cyclops was always cool. He said, we treated it like the way we should. We're not, these aren't our characters. We're just the stewards of these characters. And I'm like, I trust you. You get it. So I give it a solid 9 to 9.5 out of 10. Solid first season. Great storylines. I wish you didn't rush to it, but okay. You didn't wokeify it to the point where I was really upset. Because here's the thing. X-Men would have been the easiest thing for them to do.
Jared, you forgot something. You forgot the Hale effect.
Oh, yeah. And of course, I got not one, but 2 Jennifer Hale cameos as the same character.
That does adjust the score. Remember?
Oh, yeah, that's true. All right.
As long as they don't pull a Krakoa, I think we'll be fine.
Right. 14.5 out of 10. Because actually, you know what? Hang on. I got to give it another 5 because of the other Hale. So 19. 19 out of 10. There you go.
Wow.
That's my rating. Teladia, how about you, my brother?
I gave this a 9.5 out of 10. That's without a shadow of a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Because I obviously loved it from start to finish. The only little minor details, I wish there was more cameos. Like maybe She-Hulk, maybe add.
There'll be more. I guarantee you there'll be more.
That's the only nitpick I have. But other than that, great show.
Nick.
All right, so I give this a 9 out of 10. Great show. It has a few kind of glaring issues, like the speedrunning storylines. Animation can be a little bit wonky. The dialogue can be very on the nose at times, but the sum of its parts is greater than its whole. I think it's a good show, and I cannot wait for the onslaught next season.
See, and once once I get JJheat's take, I'm going to talk about that post-credit scene. I don't think it's onslaught, but go on, JJheat.
As for me, I'd give it a 9.5. Like, I have nothing against it, but yeah, there are some nitpicks such as animation and the rushing of storylines, but they stuck the landing, so I can't complain.
So, post-credit scene. Have you all watched it?
Yes.
Yes.
I think they're doing Age of Apocalypse. Because Apocalypse literally shows up at the end with Gambit's card, and I think he's gonna revive Gambit and make him a horseman.
Wait, didn't they do Age of Apocalypse in the original show, or was that X Trader?
They did a story with Apocalypse. I'm not sure if it was Age of Apocalypse.
Okay.
But the point is, they will involve Apocalypse, and I think he's going to bring back Gambit to be his horseman. Why else would he be holding the card?
All right. Who else? What are the? You think we're going to have Archangel again?
I think that they could do that. That's actually a good discussion. I think Archangel will be another one.
So I think which horseman would Gambit be? Because isn't I think Archangel is using either death or war.
Okay, here's my other thing. I'm going to answer that, but I have one more idea. What if he recruits Rogue to be a horseman, and she becomes the horseman of pestilence?
Okay, her touch can be like a plague. Okay.
There you go. And she's on the side of Gambit. Gambit, I would say, make war. Could Wolverine?
He's more of a person to make love than war. But okay.
Wait, no. Wolverine becomes the horseman of war.
Because isn't there like a storyline after Fatal Attraction where Apocalypse offers to restore his adamantium, but he says no?
Yeah, and Wolverine has been a horseman of Apocalypse before.
Okay, yeah, Wolverine as war, I could see it.
Gambit, I would say it's a war, famine, pestilence, death. I could say death because he died and is being revived.
Okay,
I would argue death as well, but that'd be
it's on the nose, but it seems like something they would do.
Close enough. It works. Works for me.
Who would be famine?
If we're not using Psylocke,
Storm. Because you know what causes famine? A lack of rain.
I like that. That could be fun. That could be cool. I'm definitely good. Or
either that or Scarlet Witch.
Xavier.
No.
By the way, speaking of Scarlet Witch, did you guys see the cameo in Magneto's head where it was Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, and Polaris?
Yeah.
They're in the boat, and I was like, oh, wow. That took me a second watching the scene. So, yeah, that's solid. I think that could even be a UTC topic, but we'll talk about that later. I think it's a good place to leave it. Gentlemen, great show. Teladia Plays. Remind the nice people where everyone can find you.
I just want to say this real quick.
Yeah.
House of X in X-Men 97.
I do not want in any way them doing anything with Krakoa.
No. I want. I swear, if Scarlet Witch says no more mutants,
House of M, not House of X.
Frick off, but House of M in the show.
That could be season 3. I don't see them doing that yet. They could do that. But anyway, Teladia Plays. Where can we find you and what we got coming out?
So you can follow me on Twitter at Teladia Plays _ and on YouTube. You can search up Teladia Plays on my channel. I have a a video that I'm going to be doing talking about Summer Game Fest because I'm going to talk about it. And I'm also going to be doing Snyder Fans Read Comics with Jared as we're covering issue 14. And it's going to be very exciting to talk about more Super Wonder stuff in that issue. And yeah, that's pretty much. Oh, also got a collab with JJheat that's coming up. Just talking about Blazing Shonen, where we're going to talk about Sparking Zero because there's been some exciting developments for that game.
All right, JJheat.
As for me, you can find me at JJheat75 on Twitter. JJheat Blaze on YouTube. Stay tuned for my DeCamu and Damian Wayne retrospectives. Also stay tuned to my channel for gaming content as well. And who knows? Maybe you'll see another New Direction Verse video in the future with Men of Steel.
I'm down for that. Let's do it. So, real quick, Nick, before you go, I am dropping the link to 2100 Samurai in the chat right now.
Well, thank you, Jared.
You're welcome, Grandpa. So go ahead.
All right, everybody. If you have a chance, please check out Nick Gibson's Hot Indiegogo, 2100 Samurai #4. Follow the Friend. Out now on Indiegogo. We are almost closing in on 50% funded, and we need your help. Beyond that, you can catch him tomorrow on his live stream. He will be streaming Fallout New Vegas, and joining him will be Nix and Lug, maybe Jared to harass him, and awesome things will happen.
Okay. That was
I was trying to do an announcer voice.
So, in terms of, for me, Britt and I are going to be reviewing Justice League New Frontier, critiquing it. It's more critiquing what the movie did because they made some changes in that movie that's a little meh. We'll also be reviewing seasons 1 and 2 of Blood of Zeus, the fantastic animated Greek myth show that's on Netflix. In terms, I'm thinking about commentary in UTC, but by the way, so tomorrow we will be reviewing X2, X-Men United. Boy, if there was ever a week to cover an X-Men movie, we lined this up pretty well. So, hope to see you guys there. And stay heroic, everyone. And we will see you in the next one. See you later.